Morning. Happy Wednesday. How is everybody doing? Today we're talking about when my kid wants a day of rest from school. But before I do that, I want to make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Encourage you to go over to YouTube and search Tanya Milano Parent Coach so you don't miss my videos. I go live Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I had a few days of rest, so that's why I had a few days of rest from YouTube from making my daily video. And that's why I wanted to bring up this part about rest. Yeah, over there's over 200 videos, and you'll get notified when I make new videos and when I go live. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Also, I have my Facebook community, so jump in there if you are really looking for more support in your parenting, more support in self-care without feeling guilty, so that we can be more responsive in our parenting. So it's called Reactive to Relax, Self-Care Without the Mom Guilt. Jump in there for all things accountability. Head over to the guide section and take a look at all of the resources there. Okie dokie, let's get into this. So first of all, before we talk about our children, I want to talk about you, mama. Do you value rest? Whatever your value is on rest will really influence how the family dynamics play out. Okay, so let's talk about rest for a minute. We understand there's the seasonal changes. We feel more restful in the winter. Do you accept that in the winter you will be more restful? You may feel less energy. You may want to stay in more. You may want to not do as many activities. You may not feel as creative, maybe. Or maybe because you are resting and not doing as many activities, you are more creative. So can you notice the seasonal changes in your desire for rest, your energy level? Also, thinking about the times of the month, right? Where there's restful times and more active times. A lot of times we talk about full moon energy, that all the kids are hyped up. You know, if you work in a hospital, there's lots of things going on in the hospital, full moon babies being born. But a lot of times we don't talk about the restful times of the month. The new moon is when the darkness comes and there's not a lot of energy. So it's often a restful time. And when we talk about women and their cycle, right, that we need rest, we need to accept that there's a restful time of the month for our cycle. And when you are really in tune with your body, you will have that normal cycle of rest and activity. And a lot of times it does get in sync with the moon. So just pay attention to that and see if that is right for you, if that's correct for you. So, do you honor that you will need rest, especially around the time of your menstruation? Mm-hmm. What about one day of rest a week, right? This is something that, especially if you grew up with any sort of faith-based religion or part of a church, right? We're taught that we should have a day of rest. Do you take a day of rest every week? Okay. So that brings me to what happened to me this weekend. So this weekend we went away. It was very busy. We had a birthday party. We had a fondue night with friends, sleepover. Then we went to the city, to Indianapolis. We saw, well, Taylor and I did a museum trip. Well, Tegan and Tanner did Monster Jam, so very different. I needed the quiet, the museum, very different things. And then we had to grab dinner, so we went to one of our favorite restaurants where you get to sit in a trolley. Um, the old Spaghetti Factory. It's very kid friendly in Indianapolis. We didn't get home till really late Sunday night. We did not get a day of rest on the weekend. And you know what? My kids are really used to that. And I'm really used to that. We honor at least one day of rest every week. And so that brings me to when your kids want a day of rest from school, how do we know that they actually need rest or if they are avoiding or resisting going to school? It really, really starts with you, mama. You need to know in your body, are you taking care of yourself, right? Your needs first. Are you understanding that you do need rest? And sometimes our kids know their bodies more than we know our own bodies. We weren't often given a day of rest from school. We were told no, right? Like it wasn't an option. Of course, if you work, if your parents worked, there's things you cannot do, right? Because there are obligations. But are you honoring the fact that sometimes you do need a day of rest or the quite literally the shit could hit the fan, right? You haven't rested enough. Haven't taken that one day of rest. What happens then? You're going to need 3 days off being sick, most likely. So, how do we honor when our kids actually do need a day of rest? We know in ourselves that maybe we check in with ourselves. If you don't have a safe seat practice, you need to get the safe seat practice. It's in the description of this video. Just click on the link, purejoyparenting.com. That is how we check in with ourselves moment to moment throughout the day. We set up a safe seat practice. It's a free download, so go over there and get that. The next thing is, so after you honor your needs and understanding some of the stories that come up when my kids ask to stay home from school, a lot of the stories that come up for me are, first of all, if I haven't been taking care of myself, how dare they want it, how dare they want this time for themselves? It's no, they don't need anything. So that goes into the place of where I haven't been taking care of myself. The other story that comes up is I'm gonna look like a bad mom for having my kids stay home from school. That's a big one. And oftentimes when they do stay home from school, I am feeling that pretty much all day. I have to safe seat it constantly, that feeling. The next thing that you can do preemptively, plan fewer activities. Really honor that each person in your family has different needs and that maybe you need to honor fewer activities. Maybe one child really loves lots of activities, one child does not. And if you are monitoring your own needs, you're setting the boundary in the family. I don't like a lot of activities. That's my boundary. And the family's going to have to come to some resolutions together. And that's where you get together and talk about it. And the last one is, well, I already said that one. Okay, so 1, plan fewer activities. 2, realize that each family member has different needs. And 3, honor your needs first. Okay. And if you are struggling with this part of getting the kids ready for school or how to know avoidance, resistance, or just a mental health day, that's where you really can talk to someone like me, a parent coach. So, um, I have a free chat in the description of this video. You can set up time to chat with me about what you're struggling with in parenting. We can just see what's going on for you, see if there's a way to work together on it, and go from there. If you are totally ready to take care of yourself and put your needs first and switch the script in your mind about the importance of rest, that's where Om in the Home Revolution comes in. Let me put this up on the screen. Om in the Home Revolution is my signature program where we really go dive deep into what you need as a mom to take care of yourself first. And then how do we show up for our children from a grounded place, setting boundaries, um, and all of the things that go into that. And we coach weekly. So really bringing the things in up that are going well and are not going so well so that we can continually work through them. So follow the link in the description of the video for that as well, or message me, founding member. We can chat about it first. All right, I am going to hop off of here. I will see you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Have a great day.